Hey soldiers, there's a new series on Netflix called How to Get Rich. Is this just another reality TV show heavy on dramatization, light on substance? Or is Mr. Ramit Sethi, the host of the show, you can see him here over my shoulder, is he onto something? Is he going to leave you with some practical things that you can do to improve your financial situation? Well, let's take a look at the first episode and talk about whether or not this is worth your time. All right, first let's take a look at Mr. Ramit Sethi. He is the host of the show, and the show kind of seems to be a companion vehicle for his book. His book is entitled, I Will Teach You to Be Rich, a New York Times bestseller released in 2009. And he's also the founder of growthlab.com, which is an online advertising advice website. All right, so that's him in kind of a nutshell. So the first episode follows him going to two couples and one individual, and really delving in kinda to their personal financial situations, hitting it at a high point to figure out what's going on in their lives. Now I'm gonna have to refer to my notes. I made a lot of them while watching this program. Now the first couple that Mr. Sethi decides to visit is one in which the young lady, she is a six-figure earner. The man is a college-educated engineer, but he is a stay-at-home dad. Now, this one, they laid it on thick on the woke angle and, I am woman, hear me roar. They laid that on thick, and I got to tell you something. With regard to reality TV, I think everybody knows by now that, what you're seeing is a lot of dramatization to make it interesting for television. So they kind of cast this first couple as having some issues around the fact that, I don't know if this is reality or if it's reality TV. She wears the pants in the family. And I'm not talking about from the standpoint of just making money. Okay, look, this is 2023. Ward and June Cleaver, that whole paradigm is out the door. Okay, it's about when you're married, bringing, working as a team to just boost the household. So that has nothing to do with who's more masculine or who's more feminine, anything like that. But when it comes to the way she talks with him, it's obviously, and I don't know if, again, they may be just doing this for the show to make it interesting, but he's definitely subordinate to her. This is not an equal relationship in terms of decision making, at least. Okay, so Matt and Amani definitely wears the pantalones, at least for the purposes of how they've portrayed it. Now, in this first interaction, Mr. Sethi comes out and basically the solution is to be more communicative. Now, I have watched the first 30 seconds of episode 2, and their story carries over into that. So I think they're kind of, going to do that for a few of these. I'm not sure yet, but they seem to be, the headliner, the most interesting one, because there is friction. This is how these dramatizations keep you hooked, right? And I think it's also important to note that I don't watch reality TV. So I may be a lot more critical in this, but the reason why I am is because, okay, they're talking about money and, extensively giving out advice as to how you can improve your financial situation. So being more communicative about money was the kind of the go-to message in this one. The guy said something interesting. The more money she makes, the less valuable I feel. And I just didn't think that was genuine. Okay, these guys have 2 kids, 2 lovely kids. They got, from all appearances, they got a nice house. I don't know. I just think that was the producers trying to, create some contrived marital tension. All right, so then they move on to the next couple. All right, next up is Donell and Monique. Monique has a business, actually, woodworking. Donell is in retail, according to the show. And they've got a situation where they want to buy a house. Now, I kind of disagreed with Mr. Sethi on this, where he basically comes out and he says, quote, renting can be a great financial decision, unquote. But the way he cast that was that, you may not need to buy a house. Now, you guys know I have a problem with that because in a rental situation, you're always going to be exposed to rental inflation. All right. Also, in a rental situation, you're not building any equity ever. All right. But he was A1 spot on in terms of this couple not being able or ready to purchase a home just yet because they were in a situation where they had a considerable amount of debt. Her business was doing well, but she felt that the income coming from it might fluctuate. He had money all over the place. He had some issues where he had a lot of bank accounts, and he said, hey, I just have all these bank accounts because it makes me feel like I have more money. And, Sethi was like, hey, man, come on, let's come back to reality. So the message that came out of the interaction with this particular couple was to pay off debt. So far, we got pretty standard fare here in terms of the solutions. Pay off debt, communicate with your partner about money, all right? And, going back to the first couple, also kind of develop a different mindset about money. Again, this is not the 50s. You are not Ward and June Cleaver, where he left the house and was able to afford the car, the house, food and everything, and no problem on one salary. We're not there anymore, okay? One trip to the grocery store will prove that. So communicate about money, pay off debt. And then the last person profiled was Natalie. Natalie, I don't know if this is real. God, I hope not. The lady drove up in a Ferrari, okay? And you might think, well, she's got it all together, right? That is where you would be wrong. And she certainly looks like she has it all together. I mean, for God's sake, she drove up in a Ferrari, right? She has the highfalutin fashion. She even speaks with an accent. Bonjour is what she says when she first meets Sethi. And, throughout the course of things, we learn a little bit more about her. She has some high dollar expenses, which total about $15,000 per month. She said that in the past few years, she's spent basically $500,000 on shopping. Now, what they don't say is, but the context clues, they give you the indication that she was married to someone who's extremely wealthy. And ladies, before you get upset and say, well, she could have done it on her own. Women can make money too. I know that. But she said that she's getting $25,000 per month in child support, and that's how she's able to afford her lifestyle. Now, when she said child support, we're not talking about a 5-year-old where this money will continue in perpetuity. Her daughter was showcased on this. Her daughter looks like she's in her late teens. She might be 20, but she's in college. And she said, hey, my mom had trouble affording my college tuition. There's a lady driving around in a Ferrari. There's a lady shopping to the tune of, and self-admitted, $500,000 a year. Okay. So she's actually emblematic of a whole lot of Americans who have the accoutrements of wealth. You see them on the street, and just based on what they're wearing, the type of hairstyle they have, what they're driving, you get an impression that is totally false. The daughter said she had trouble paying my college tuition. That's what really matters. But then when they profiled her walk-in closet, it looked like, the showroom of Versace or something. So she's got the child support coming in, $25,000 a month. But her daughter is not young. So that's going to be cutting off soon. I believe that if you're in college in most states, I don't know about California's where they live. California can be counted on to be the most draconian. So it's at least till the young lady is 25 or has opted out of college. Okay. So she's not going to be getting that in perpetuity. And it was revealed that she doesn't know what she's going to do once that income stops incoming. She's dabbling with trying to open a restaurant or do some things like that. But it's clear that this woman was more into appearances than she was into anything substantive financially. So I'm glad he profiled that, because again, that is the dilemma that most Americans have. So we've got being more communicative about the financial situation between the partners. Of course, the age-old standard, paying off debt, and living beyond your means. You just can't do it. Not in 2023, right? This lady is a ticking time bomb. So, and I mean that in terms of her finances. Hopefully, she can get it together. Listen, I like the way the guy Sethi approaches this, in your face, guerrilla style. Like, come on, you gotta get this. Seems to me like, and this may be a little bit of an insult to him, but it's kind of like a, Dave Ramsey meets Dr. Phil kind of thing. Okay. And I just want to put that out there to kind of give you a flavor for what it is, but I certainly am not denigrating him or even attempting to when I say that. I think the more content out there that's trying to lead people into the direction of true financial independence, the better. So that's episode 1. Scale of 1 to 10. Give it a 5. Give it a 7. And I'm lowballing it because I don't watch this type of programming, but I thought it was important to bring you this review because check it out. You might like it. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon. Let me know if you want me to do episode 2, if you want me to keep reviewing this program or programs like it. Just drop a comment. Let me know. Thanks. Talk to you soon.